So the other day, I was at Toys R Us with my mother, and I saw this enormous 1/8 scale C8 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. And I really wanted to bring it amongst the rest of my car family. My mother refused and asked me, what would you do with such a big car in your collection? Why would you want such a big car in your collection? I gave her my best answer, but I strongly believe this is a question very much worth answering in a YouTube video. Hi, I'm Vayo, and welcome to my YouTube channel, more specifically to this first episode of the Car Talk, where we will discuss why big cars. Now, to answer a question, we must first understand the subject of the question. So, to understand the interest or disinterest of certain people in certain scales of models of cars, we must first visualize the different scales for cars. First off, we have the 1/64 scale, which is about 7 centimeters by 3 centimeters. That is the size you find in your local dollar store. You can buy them from Hot Wheels, Siku, or Majorette, for example. Next up, we have the 143 scale, which is about 11.5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. You can buy those from MSZ, Maisto, or Welly, for example. Then we have the 136 scale, which is about 12.5 centimeters by 5.5 centimeters. You can buy one of those from Kinsmart or NMZ, for example. We also have the 132 scale, which is about 15 centimeters by 6 centimeters. You can buy one of them from MSZ, Kinsmart, or Jada, for example, and so on and so forth. So, my mom did give me a pretty good and solid argument in favor of purchasing smaller models instead of bigger ones. She said that in the same amount of space that one large car takes up, I could fit multiple small ones. And that would give me a wider variety of brands, models, colors, etc. And she is completely right in my opinion. But here is where I will add my input to the discussion in 2 points. Number 1, generally, and I insist on the word generally, smaller models are a little less detailed than larger models. For example, let's take my 1/64 Jaguar XESV Project 8 and compare it to the exact same model but in 136. You can see that nearly everything is more detailed on the 136 model. The wing in black, which is the actual color on the real Project 8, the black housing around the hood vent, the titanium exhaust pipe, the mirror collars, they even have the blinker on them. And since I enjoy purchasing model cars for the pleasure of having the closest possible replica to the original model, the more detailed it is, the more resembling it is to the original, and therefore, the more interest I have in it. Number 2, sometimes I like to buy really cheap cars from Value Village and turn them into project cars. As I did with my Hennessey Venom, and if you want to see that, I'll leave the link in the description. That means I buy them to give them a fresh, new paint job and just generally make them look better. And I have noticed much better results on larger cars that I have painted than on smaller ones. It's a little harder to make those modifications look good on smaller models because it's harder to apply the masking tape. It's harder to cut it, it's harder to apply the paint on the model, etc. It's just so much more of a hassle. So let me end this video by briefly wrapping up all of the points that have been shared in it. Yes, smaller models allow to have more models in the collection by occupying less space each, but bigger models are much more detailed and accurate representations of the original vehicle. So it's really up to you to decide if you want smaller models, bigger models, or a mix of both, just like I chose to do. In my opinion, there really are no rules when it comes to building a car collection and what models and kinds of models to buy. You just have to go with what you like and think is a good idea to have. There you go. That's gonna be it for this video. I just wanted to answer my mom's question and share my thoughts on the topic, so if you have anything to add, please feel free to leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a little thumbs up or even subscribe to the channel if you want to. This has been Vayo with you in the very first episode of the Car Talk, and I sure hope to see you again in the next one. Thanks for spending these 5 minutes with me, and as always,